So we have three functions here. We have a g function, a k function, and a p function. So if we want to find g of 4, which one of those do we use? G of x function. So we're going to use this function here. Let me change it to the red. So then we're going to take 4 and put it in place of the x, square it, and minus 5. So 4 squared is 16 minus 5, which would be 11. G of 4 is 11. So if we're finding k of 7, which function would we use? The k function. So we're going to take negative 4, multiply it by 7, and subtract 2. So this gives us negative 28 minus 2, which is like negative 28 plus negative 2, which is negative 30. I want you to do this one on your own. Let's see how you do on P of 8.
Ready? We have to set our friendship contract. No one is
Okay, so you should have gotten negative 11.
Oh, and there's no
Questions on that before we move on to the next one? Okay, so what we have in here is a 4a this time. So in place of x, what do you suppose we need to put? 4a. So we have 4a minus 2, and then if we can simplify it, we simplify it. Can we simplify 4a minus 2? We can. They are not like terms. One has a variable, the other one does not. So that's as far as we go. So not as bad as it looks, is it?
No, it's not that bad. Yeah. Would that be on our first paper?
So on number 5, we're finding f of negative 3x, so a little bit harder this time. So in place of the x, we are putting a negative 3x. What's negative 7 times negative 3x? 21x. Can we simplify that? No. And that's our answer. They are not like terms, so there's nothing we can do there. Okay, so let's do number 6. So we want to find w of b over 4. So in place of the x, we're putting a b over 4. Can we simplify that? No. Again, we cannot. So somebody in one of my other classes said, well, what about if we multiply both sides times something? In this case, we can't multiply both sides by something. Anybody know why? No, it's on the left there. It's just notation. It's not really an equation in this case. It's just a notation. It's saying what that's equal to. So we can't do anything to it. We want to leave it as is. So, okay, now another one, a little bit more complicated. We want to find k of t minus 5. So in place of the x, we are going to substitute a t minus 5. So what do we do?
You have to distribute the.
Oh, good vocabulary. We want to distribute that 4. So we get 4t minus 4 times 5, or 20. And then can we simplify that? Yes, we've got like terms here, the negative 20 and the 2. So this gives us 14 minus 18. And so I'm putting equals here so that we can follow where it goes from here to here to here to here. So you want to make sure that when you're doing more than one step in your problem, that it follows. You can follow it by putting that equal sign there. I want to make sure that when you go to take your quiz, I can follow it and understand where your answer is. Okay, go ahead and do number 8 on your own. See if you can do that. Oh, wait. Oh, I. I'm over.
Yeah, like you can tell us about this. Like we already know. You have everything. Thank you. Yeah, how did you? Oh.
Sorry, I actually added them. I actually added them. Yeah, literally. Why are you smart? So you should get 3a minus 8 for that one. Questions on that?
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, next one. We're going to find g of n squared. So in place of x, we're going to put. What are we going to put in place of x? N squared. Can we simplify those two? No. One has a variable, one doesn't, so we're done there. Okay, and last two are going to be the hardest. So on number 10, we have 2 x's there. So we need to put this negative 3x in both of those places. So we're taking negative 3x and squaring it. And then we're subtracting, and then we're putting negative 3x in place of the x. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what do we get when we take negative 3x and square it? Positive 9x squared, because it's negative 3x times negative 3x. That gives us 9. X times x gives us x squared. I know, it's the first time we've seen something like that. Just one sec. And then minus a negative becomes positive, so it's plus 3x. So, are those like terms, x squared and x?
No.
No, so that's as far as we can go. Are you confused? Confused, okay. Still getting to know you. Okay, number 11. So we've got h of a plus 1. We're going to take a plus 1 and put it in place of x, and then the second x.
Oh.
So, a plus 1 squared is really a plus 1 times itself, right? So I'm going to do that on the side. We do not have a rule that allows us to distribute an exponent. So we have to write it twice. That's what the square means. It's a plus 1 times itself. So how do we multiply that? What do we do to multiply that out? So you might have seen it as FOIL. I taught my students that it makes a claw. So a times a is a squared. A times 1 is a. 1 times a is a, and then 1 times 1 is 1. Now we want to simplify this first before we put it in there. What is this equal to? A squared plus 2a plus 1. So we're going to take this and multiply that by 3. A squared plus 2a plus 1. And at the same time, we're going to distribute that negative 2 times a plus 1. So that is that's a negative 2 here that we're distributing. So make sure you distribute that negative 2, because it's like plus a negative 2. So we get a negative 2a minus 2 times 1, negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2. So now what do I need to do with this here? Distribute, good. So we take 3 times a squared, 3a squared. 3 times 2a, which is 6a. And 3 times 1, which is 3. And we simplify that now. Yeah. How does that simplify? You want to say, Jimmy, or did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. How does it simplify? How many a's?
Oh boy.
Positive 4a. And then these two are like terms? Plus 1. So that's what h of a plus 1 is equal to. And that's it.